Chamber is active in advocating for our members with all levels of government, including the City of Grande Prairie, and we appreciate the City's cooperation in this annual event. 2017 marks the end of another election cycle as we prepare for this fall's municipal vote. The State of the City address recaps activities from 2016 and highlights some of the plans for the rest of this year. To bring us up to date is Mayor Bill Given. Born and raised in Grande Prairie and first elected in 2001, Mayor Given holds the distinction of being the youngest person ever elected to the Grande Prairie City Council at the age of 24. After serving 3 terms as a councillor, he became the youngest mayor in the city's history in 2010 and was re-elected for a 2nd term in 2013. In addition to his council duties, Mayor Given sits on the board of directors for the Alberta Law Enforcement Response Team and on the AUMA Municipal Governance Committee. Mayor Given has a certificate in local government administration from the University of Alberta and recently completed a Master's of Arts in Leadership at Royal Roads University in Victoria. He is a proud Rotarian and a former Rotary Youth Exchange student whose professional career includes a marketing consultancy and employment in the technology sector. Mayor Given and his wife Susan have a 6-year-old daughter Mila and a 4-year-old son Paya. Please welcome Mayor Bill Given.
Thanks very much, Dennis, and welcome everyone. I just want to recognize my municipal colleagues from across the region that are here today. Thank you so much for joining us. Really appreciate seeing all of you here. Thank you so much. Tom Burton, it's good to see that you got some dessert. I'm happy with that. I'd also like to acknowledge the fact that we're gathered here today on Treaty 8 territory, the traditional lands of the Beaver, Cree, Dene, and Métis people. And I'm happy that we can all gather today to share a meal and discuss our community. It's a pleasure to be able to present the final State of the City address for this council term. Before I go any further, though, let me extend my appreciation to the Chamber of Commerce for providing this forum. The Chamber really, of course, is a key partner for the city, and we appreciate your commitment to ensuring Grande Prairie remains a dynamic and vibrant community. Thank you, Dennis, Dan, and your entire team for hosting this event and for all that you do to make Grande Prairie an excellent place to do business and live. Thank you. So, although I get to be up here and deliver this address, the work of local government is really a team effort. Municipal services are the result of the hard work of an army of dedicated individuals. From mechanics in fleet, to contact center staff in City Hall, to planners in the service center, to childcare staff at Dave Bar, there are literally hundreds and hundreds of people working every day to make sure Grande Prairie is a great place to live. Of course, a team as large and diverse as this needs leadership at the top. So I'd like to take a moment to recognize the members of our corporate leadership team in attendance today. First, our new city manager, Bob Nicolay, who joined us in February. Bob, give us a wave. Bob is, of course, brand new to Grande Prairie, but he brings with him a broad range of experience from the municipal, business, entrepreneurial, and community development sectors, both in Canada and the United States, and we're very lucky to have him. Thanks, Bob. Supporting Bob are the other members of our senior leadership team. In attendance today, we have Mr. Ken Anderson, the Corporate Services Director, Horacio Galante, the Community Services Director, the Community Safety Director, Koji Miyagi, the Community Growth Director, and Gary Roth, the Community Living Director. Gentlemen, if you could stand up and give us a wave. Each one of these people and many, many more play an important role in building our community. Thank you to each and every one of you. A little bit closer to home, I'd also like to thank the staff from Economic Development, the City Manager's Office, and many other departments that worked to put this presentation together. I don't make it easy on them. I absolutely don't make it easy on them, and I appreciate the work that David Olinger and the rest of the team have done in helping me prepare for today's presentation. Thank you for your contributions. So, of course, I have the pleasure of being the member of another team, City Council. As elected officials, City Council members play a number of important roles. They share their expertise and knowledge. They help citizens understand the machinery of local government. They bring the perspectives and priorities of citizens to the decision-making table, and they give of themselves in service to their community. I am blessed to have been able to work alongside an outstanding team of councillors this term, and I'd like to acknowledge them. Councillor Jackie Clayton, please stand up and give us a wave as I say your name. Councillor Kevin McLean, Councillor Kevin O'Toole, Councillor Lauren Radburn, Councillor Rory Tarrant, Councillor Chris Thiessen, and Councillor Dwight Logan couldn't join us today. But finally, I want to acknowledge Councillor Helen Rice. I don't know if the Oilers get that big a round of applause, especially after last night. But as many of you may know, Councillor Rice has announced that she's not going to be running for re-election in the fall. This June 10th will mark 38 years that Helen has been on our City Council and serving our community. Council really has set the example for elected officials across the province. And Helen, thank you so much that you've given to our community and for your support for me personally in my time on council. Thank you so much. The investment these individuals have made in building our community is remarkable and will, of course, have a long-lasting impact. On your tables, in that big stack of information, you'll find a pamphlet featuring comments from all of our council members on some of the work of the past 4 years that they're most proud of. Please give it a look. You'll also see some recent statistical information to complement my remarks today, showing the economy is on the upswing. Council, thank you for everything that you do. So typically, the State of the City Address is an opportunity to share recent highlights and discuss upcoming developments in our community. But one of the most important jobs of council is to look forward and set a strategic direction for our community. So, rolling back to 2014, when I gave the State of the City Address, I highlighted Council's newly adopted 2015 to 2018 strategic plan and its 4 focus areas of exploring new directions, capitalizing on growth, strengthening our core, and optimizing existing services. Today, I'd like to return to that strategic plan and spotlight some of the initiatives under each of those focus areas to illustrate how the strategic direction set by Council 4 years ago has come to life over the course of this term. The first of the areas should be strengthening our core. In January 2014, just after election, Council described a future where our downtown would be a vibrant urban core that is an active, attractive, and inclusive focal point for our community, a place where people live, work, and play. So where are we today? The Downtown Rehabilitation Program started in 2014 after the initiation of a full subsurface and surface infrastructure assessment of the downtown area. Our consultants also made upgrade recommendations and streetscape design proposals for the area. Following, in 2015, Council budgeted $20 million of provincial MSI grant dollars to begin work on the downtown rehab program that came as a result of this infrastructure assessment. This month, construction will resume on the project that will replace some of the oldest underground infrastructure in our city. The project will also improve the above-ground public space with new road surfaces, curbs and gutters, widened sidewalks, trees, benches, lights, and many other enhancements. There are no two ways about it. This summer will be a challenging time for downtown businesses. But make no mistake, those businesses remain open. Our engineering staff, consultants, and contractor continue to work with the Downtown Association to mitigate disruptions to the downtown businesses, but we'll need your help. Please make the effort to visit downtown, support our local businesses, and help them get through this period of short-term pain for long-term gain. Also focusing on downtown, starting in September of 2015, citizens provided input through an award-winning community engagement process that ultimately led to the adoption of the South Montrose Master Plan in 2016. This plan, based on input from more than 1,600 residents, put to bed the concern that this valuable piece of land in the center of our city would be developed in a piecemeal fashion. And it outlines several cohesive options to guide future decision-making for the area as it develops into an arts and cultural district in the heart of our city. Council also recognized that the fantastic public spaces envisioned in the rehab program needed to be complemented by private buildings that reflected the vibrancy of the businesses and services inside them. So in January of 2016, Council approved a downtown incentives program to invest directly in the downtown core by encouraging building improvements and new residential developments. This program is comprised of 3 components: the Urban Residential Development Grant, the Facade Improvement Grant, and the Patio Grant. To date, the city has awarded $873,000 to 27 program applicants, and the initiative has in turn stimulated $3.5 million of investment in the downtown core. Obviously, driving through downtown, you can't help but notice many rejuvenated structures, ranging from the Pomeroy headquarters to Earl's, Laurel's, Better Than Fred's, and Balanced Bookkeeping, just to name a few. In February this year, Council augmented the program by adding a matching grant of up to $50,000 to demolish existing buildings that may be past their serviceable lifespan. If anybody can think of a significant building downtown that may be, we are doing everything we can to encourage the transition and transformation of our downtown. In fact, these 3 initiatives together are literally transforming the heart of our city and bring to life Council's vision of strengthening our core. The next focus area was optimizing existing services. In this, Council recognized that as an organization, we need to continually refine how we provide services to efficiently and effectively maximize the use of our resources. This meant rethinking our approach to service delivery and reinvesting in existing facilities. An example of this is our Citizen Contact Center. A long-standing problem for residents and businesses was knowing who to call at City Hall. So in November 2014, the Citizen Contact Center was launched. This in-house operation fields general inquiries, as well as calls that would have formerly been directed to different departments like Transportation Services, Transit, Enforcement Services, and the City Manager or Mayor's Office. Today, most calls can be handled by staff without transferring to anyone. By rethinking our approach, the Contact Center has created a one-stop shop for citizens to connect with the City of Grande Prairie via phone, email, the website, and social media. Another core service that is always top of mind is snow clearing. Just as the last council was elected in 2013, about 182 centimeters of snow fell through the last quarter of that year. You might recall that EMS, fire, and garbage trucks were having difficulty maneuvering through the uncleared snow accumulations, and residents were having difficulty getting to and from their homes. Our practice at the time involved the use of city equipment to clear residential areas, only after main arterials and transit routes were clear. This resulted in an inconsistent and unpredictable service to the residential areas, where it could take up to 6 weeks to do one full rotation of the city, if we ever made it to your street at all. Council and admin recognized the need to rethink our approach to the residential snow clearing program, and our new program made its permanent debut in November of 2014. The program today is activated 24 hours after a major snow event or when 10 centimeters of snow is accumulated on roadways. By using contractors in residential areas, city crews are able to focus on the main roads, while neighborhoods are also addressed. The revised procedure has resulted in the new standard of all residential areas being cleared within 10 business days. However, at times, we've even been able to achieve 90% of our residential areas being cleared in as little as 5 business days. So while we'll never completely solve winter snow problems, this effort to refine how we deliver the service demonstrates that we have the ability to adjust our practices and try new things. Another core service that is obviously always on the top of mind of residents is community safety. In 2015, Grande Prairie had the dubious distinction of being number 1 on both the Crime Severity Index and the Violent Crime Severity Index for all of Canada. In response, Council increased the number of municipal police officers in our RCMP detachment. Last year, we added 9 new positions, 4 more are being added this year, and an additional 4 are coming in 2018. That makes a total of 17 new police officers being added over the course of this term. Last year, Council also increased the amount of municipal support employees by an additional 5 to allow the RCMP members to be out on the road rather than behind the desk. Altogether, these investments in staffing represent an additional $2.9 million in policing and support for our community. These additional resources have allowed the flexibility to take new actions to address the crime rate. A crime reduction unit has been established to address habitual offenders, enabling officers to make better use of their resources. And a drug team has been established to focus on activity at the street level, helping in an area where previously we didn't have the resources. The results are good. Crime statistics from the RCMP show 10,671 criminal code offenses in 2016. That's down below 2012 levels when 11,321 offenses were registered. Our investment in community safety is working. Improving community mobility and our existing transit service have also been a focus for this council. In December of last year, you might remember the City of Grande Prairie had 9 transit projects approved for funding under the Federal Provincial Public Transit Infrastructure Fund. In addition to helping us lower our carbon footprint by bringing on off-grid solar electric powered buses, these funds will allow us to use world-class technology in our transit system. Modernizing our fleet will increase the comfort and convenience for the riding public and will enable us to increase ridership. We're also right-sizing our fleet by bringing in smaller 30-foot buses to replace some of our existing 40-foot units, which have accumulated over 1 million kilometers in travel per bus. These smaller units will allow us to more effectively serve new neighborhoods where the road network may not yet be fully developed, and it will allow us to operate more efficiently in off-peak hours when a larger bus isn't needed. Shifting to facilities, in late 2014, Council approved bringing the management of South Bear Creek Park in-house. For many years, the facility had been maintained and operated through a patchwork of contracts and agreements with external organizations. The park sees, on average, 9,000 visitors each week. Last year, we had 251 mixed slow pitch teams, the highest number in North America. In addition to teams in men's and women's slow pitch leagues, senior men's slow pitch leagues, and our fastball league. Add to this a beach volleyball league with 180 teams, model car racers, dog walkers, and a golf course that had to be closed down. We could tell the venue was not keeping up with demand and showing signs of age that didn't represent or serve our community well. So since bringing an operation in-house, the facility now sees daily ball diamond maintenance, additional security patrols, and full-time staff on site all weekend for tournaments and special events. Council also approved $2 million of capital investment to cope with growth and bring all aspects of the venue up to modern standards. Some of these improvements include lighting added to the parking lots, exciting things like a washroom and shower facility for the volleyball courts. A fully refurbished golf course will open this year with artificial greens and tee boxes, and a clubhouse again featuring modern amenities. Boy, oh boy. Amenities like flush toilets. In addition to being improved for year-round use, the pavilion is also being rejuvenated with upgraded washroom and shower facilities, which will allow for hosting large-scale events. Refurbishing the bike track will happen this year to allow to bring in a more accessible bike park. 2 300-foot ball diamonds have been added, and the campgrounds now have a total of 35 service sites. The campgrounds located near the golf course were completely upgraded, with pedestals at each site serving 30-amp power and upgraded water lines. These reinvestments into an existing facility are far more cost-effective than starting new somewhere else, and will ensure the venue can meet the community demand well into the future. Of course, no discussion about existing recreation facilities would be complete without the Bear Creek Outdoor Pool. This beloved Grande Prairie facility was first opened in 1962 and has been closed since the summer of 2013 due to cracking in the basin of the pool. Well, it will find a new life in 2018. On April 17th of this year, after extensive consultation and design work, Council awarded the tender for the Bear Creek Pool at a cost of $4.4 million. The whole facility has been designed to meet the needs of our youthful community, with more shallow water areas, a water slide, and several water play features. This investment and the others described above in our existing facilities and services, along with rethinking transit, snow clearing, and customer contact and community safety, are exactly what Council intended to focus on with its focus on optimizing existing services. Our third focus area was exploring new directions. In 2014, looking forward, Council forecasted a need for changes to our system of local government, locally and across the province. Council acknowledged the evolution of our region and determined we were willing to take risks in order to find solutions to benefit the residents of our community and communities in the region. An initial step in this strategic direction was exploring alternative governance models, which led to the development of the Alberta Municipal Governance Symposium, which was held here in Grande Prairie in September of 2014. The event was attended by over 200 urban and rural municipal officials and representatives of all political parties, including the NDP MLA, who would shortly become Minister of Municipal Affairs following the 2015 provincial election. The symposium explored how rural and urban municipalities can come together to be more sustainable and to better serve their communities. The symposium featured panelists from across the country to discuss the realities of how communities function today and what that means for our local government structures moving forward. After the event, we worked with Strathcona County to organize a tour of their municipality where one local government manages both urban and rural parts. We were joined on that tour by representatives from many Alberta communities, including some from the Grande Prairie region. And finally, following the symposium and tour, in the fall of 2015, the City of Grande Prairie initiated a discussion with the County of Grande Prairie, the towns of Sexsmith, Beaverlodge, Wembley, and the Village of Hythe on exploring amalgamation. And while there is no appetite for dialogue locally at this time on that topic, the landscape has continued to shift at the provincial level. In the fall of 2016, the new NDP government introduced amendments to the Municipal Government Act, including provisions that will require municipalities to increase collaboration through the use of ICFs, or intermunicipal collaboration frameworks. These agreements must address services such as water, wastewater, and solid waste, emergency services, recreation, transportation, and any other service where those services benefit residents in more than one of the municipalities that are a party to the framework. These frameworks must be in place within 2 years of the regulations being enacted, which is expected to occur this fall after the municipal election. While any 2 or more municipalities may choose to enter into an ICF, directly adjacent municipalities like the county and city will be required to develop a framework to discuss service provision in the region. In preparation, we've partnered with the town of Sexsmith to successfully apply for a $100,000 Alberta Community Partnership Grant to hire a consultant to assist in completing the pre-work on the road to an ICF. The pre-work will involve doing analysis and inventories of services and gaps in the service areas expected to be covered in the agreements. The town of Wembley has recently joined us in this endeavor, and we've also invited the county, the town of Beaverlodge, and the Village of Hythe to join us, and we remain open to them joining us at any time. In the interim, we've remained open to working with partners for the betterment of the region. The best example of this has to be the tri-municipal partnership initiated by the MD of Greenview. In late 2016, the MD invited the county and the city to come together in an effort to establish a world-class industrial development zone in the MD of Greenview on Crown land south of Grovedale. The key principle of this initiative is that all partners will share in any property tax revenue generated as a result of increased development. To give you a sense of scale of this project, the area under discussion is approximately 310 square kilometers in size. By comparison, including the 2016 annexation, the City of Grande Prairie boundary is just 132 square kilometers in size, so nearly 3 times the size of the City of Grande Prairie. We're very appreciative of the MD's willingness to open this opportunity to the city and county, and we look forward to working together as the project moves forward. These 3 vignettes just demonstrate how Council has acted on its intent to take risks and explore new directions with respect to governance and working together in the region. In many ways, we believe this work will continue to influence Alberta's local government landscape well into the future. The final focus area of the 2015 to 2018 strategic plan considered how the city might capitalize on growth. Here, Council had turned its attention to ensuring we have well-maintained infrastructure, planning for the future growth of our community, and nurturing a well-developed small business and retail sector. In January of 2016, annexation of approximately 6,300 hectares of land from the County of Grande Prairie became official, providing the City of Grande Prairie much-needed land to attract industrial and commercial development. I'm pleased to say that by and large, we've been able to transition the rural service area residents effectively into city jurisdiction, and we've been able to turn our focus toward the future by encouraging new development in the area. This effort to encourage new development was supercharged in April of 2016 after extensive lobbying, Alberta Transportation announced that it would begin construction of the Highway 43X bypass. The provision of access to this area will act as a catalyst for new development in the recently annexed lands. In response, in the summer of 2016, administration began working with landowners in the area to prepare the Hughes Lake Area Structure Plan. This plan will cover 19 quarter sections of land in the rural service area and focuses on the area with the most immediate development potential. The goal of the Hughes Lake ASP is to establish land uses and growth policies to accommodate a significant amount of general industrial and business park development within city limits. The plan will also establish a large-scale commercial nodes at strategic locations, and all of these efforts, annexation, advocacy for provincial infrastructure, and proactive land use planning set the stage for the city to grow its tax base and reduce the burden on our current ratepayers. In 2014, Council spoke to the need to grow our business sector with a focus on small business and retail. At the time, we couldn't have forecasted the significant change in our economy that would make these economic development efforts even more important. The Spark Business Incubator caters to professional services and innovation entrepreneurs. The concept houses an incubator with Community Futures' new offices in 214 Place. The incubator will provide a platform for entrepreneurs to build their businesses with professional support such as coaching, mentoring, training, networking events, applied research services, office equipment, reception services, a boardroom, and a professional address. Spark has been operating at full capacity since February 1st and will have an official launch later this month. In a similar vein, the Sprout Incubator focuses on retailers that don't currently have bricks and mortar locations in Grande Prairie. The goal of this program is to match retailers with landlords for short-term leases at attractive rates to allow those retailers to test their retail concepts. Entrepreneurs will be guided through a comprehensive retail-ready training program developed by the University of Alberta School of Retail and delivered in partnership with Community Futures of Grande Prairie. This initiative wouldn't have been possible to get off the ground without partners including ATB, Myers Norris Penny, and Community Futures. The first retail training is expected to begin in June, and we're actively looking for downtown landlords that might have an interest in participating in the program. Continuing our business development theme, the City, Community Futures, and Grande Prairie Regional College are conducting a business visitation program in 2017. The group will be contacting businesses to set up interviews and focus group sessions that will discuss issues and opportunities for Grande Prairie businesses. The first focus group is planned for May 24th. If you're interested in participating, please contact Community Futures or our City of Grande Prairie Economic Development Department, and contact information for them can be found in the packages at your table. Turning our attention to infrastructure, the east-west traffic flow across the south end of the city will be significantly enhanced with the $16.5 million 68th Avenue project. This massive project completely realigned the former two-lane rural cross-section road into a four-lane divided urban standard road and added a second bridge over Bear Creek to meet the huge increase in traffic volume. Of course, you all know all those details, and we also all know that the delays in the project as a result of last year's rainy construction season have been frustrating. The bridge contractor has resumed work recently and is planning for completion of their portion of the project in early June. The road contractor will be underway in the middle of this month and, barring any unforeseen delays, will be complete this summer. So, although it might not seem like it during pothole season, over this term, it is pothole season after all. There's only so many seasons in Grande Prairie, and we know that one of them is pothole season. Over this term, the city has invested heavily in annual programs to maintain and improve our roads. Our road rehab and overlay program was funded to the tune of $8 million per year this term, and so far we've undertaken 31.92 kilometers of rehab projects and 6.48 kilometers of new construction projects. Also this term, we've been able to improve 25.4 kilometers of pedestrian trails and sidewalks and have brought on an additional 11 kilometers of new pathways. All of these efforts, annexation, advocacy, planning, infrastructure, and business development come as a result of this council's focus on capitalizing on growth. So in all the areas mentioned above, we want to be proud of the work we do. It's even more gratifying when someone else recognizes your efforts. I'd like to highlight some recent recognition that the city has received in 3 areas to illustrate how our efforts are being acknowledged as best in class by people from outside of our community. First, the Downtown Incentives Program that I mentioned. On March 23rd, the City of Grande Prairie's Economic Development and Land and Communications Manager and the municipality's Downtown Incentives Program received provincial recognition through the Economic Developers of Alberta, receiving their 2017 Award of Excellence. Economic Development Officer Brian Glavin was named Outstanding Young Professional of the Year, while the city received the Alex Metcalf Award for the Best of the Best Community Project in Business Retention and Expansion for our Downtown Incentives Program. The city was also a winning community in the Business Retention and Expansion's Medium Community or Region category. In early April, the City of Grande Prairie was named Diversity Magazine's 2017 Peace and Friendship Diversity Award winner. This recognition comes as a result of the municipality's collaborative and innovative approach to creating its administrative procedure on ceremonial smudging in municipal facilities. The City of Grande Prairie is the first municipality in Western Canada to create a policy of this nature, which allows traditional Indigenous ceremonies to take place in our municipal facilities. Its development was a collaboration of city administration, community members, and the Grande Prairie Circle of Aboriginal Services, and it is winning us provincial recognition. Over the course of this term, Council has nurtured the development of neighborhood associations. In 2013, we had just 5 active neighborhood associations, and today I'm proud to report that we have 17, with 2 more in the process of coming on board shortly. Our associations are flourishing in their efforts to connect neighbors and influence the character of our community. The associations continue to do projects such as adding picnic tables, benches, banners in their neighborhoods, and they're now thinking of even more outside-the-box projects with great initiatives such as running tracks, native pollinator hotels, little libraries, and community notice boards. I bring this up because our Mount View Neighborhood Association is now the provincially recognized Mount View Neighborhood Association for their work on developing a wheelchair-accessible outdoor fitness park. They were recently recognized for this work by the Spinal Cord Injury Association of Alberta with the Percy Wickman Accessibility Award. And we're very, very proud of the work that these neighborhood associations are doing in driving the future of our community. So thinking about economy, Grande Prairie is more fortunate than many communities over the last little while because we have several pillars driving our local economic engine. However, there's no question that the downturn in the energy sector over the last 2 years has had an impact in our community, resulting in job losses, business closures, and some people leaving Grande Prairie. I'm proud to report that there are some positive economic signs emerging. Drilling activity in the local energy sector continues to increase. Over-dimensional vehicle traffic in the first quarter of 2017 saw 2,722 permits issued for over-dimensional vehicles traveling through the city. That's up significantly from 1,855 permits issued in quarter 1 of 2016. You might wonder, so what? Over-dimensional vehicle permits are an indicator of economic activity, as these account for service rigs, housing, and major oil field equipment heading out of town or coming through town to work in the region. Employment stats are also in good shape relative to the rest of the province. In March, Grande Prairie's unemployment rate stood at 7.8%. That's 1% lower than the province-wide average of 8.8%. Construction value for March increased 23% to just over $8 million, and year-to-date construction value is just under $40 million. This is compared to $12 million in the same period in 2016. House sales are also up. In March, 188 residential sales were recorded in Grande Prairie compared to 142 in the same month in 2016. In total, 492 homes have sold in Grande Prairie in 2017, a 39% increase from the same period in 2016. The average sale price for 2017 to date is just over $290,000, which is a 4% increase from a year ago. These stats, combined with anecdotal stories of businesses starting to see best ever sales months again and the need to hire more people, suggest that we're through the worst and on the upswing. So looking ahead, we can expect to build on this positive momentum and celebrate our country with the Canada 150 celebrations this year and the Alberta Summer Games coming in 2018. As Canada celebrates its 150th birthday this year, the City Council has invested $100,000 in enhancing existing activities, from Family Day, held in February, to Municipal Government Day in June, Canada Day in July, Heritage Day in August, and Arts and Culture Days in September. We encourage you and your families to attend these events and celebrate our great country throughout the course of this year. Looking forward, in 2018, Grande Prairie will once again be the spotlight for our province, as together with the county and other communities in the region, we host the 2018 Alberta Summer Games. More than 3,000 athletes, coaches, and officials from across the province will descend on the region from July 19th to 22nd to compete in venues located in the city and the county. We have lots to look forward to in our community. So of course, strategic plans are important. Development and projects are always good to see, but as we wrap up, it's useful to reflect on what this all costs. I'm very proud to say that this council has been able to do everything I've previously mentioned while delivering the lowest 4 years of property tax increases in the past 15 years. We know we have to continue to move our community forward by setting the strategic vision for the future. And at the same time, we also know we have to address affordability. And I believe the results show that we've been able to balance the two. So it's been my pleasure today to update you on some of the exciting things happening in our community and to share with you the steps underway and plan to improve the city. Your council is committed to making Grande Prairie an even better place to call home and do business. We certainly appreciate everyone attending today and your ongoing support for our community as we look forward to ensuring the future of Grande Prairie is filled with opportunities to succeed. Thank you very much.